here on site at the site that we refer to as W28B, which is Porter's Trents. We are working on seeking to reopen the road, having installed the culvert. We're expecting to be able to have the road reinstated for traffic by tonight, so that when you have kids coming down for school and people going to work and so forth, that we'll have that open. We fought very hard to try and get the roads along Highway 1 reinstated, even though we're not finished all of the work that we have to do, because we're very cognizant of the fact that when you get to that point in time in school and you have those traffic issues, and we're trying to alleviate not just the flooding and drainage issues in the area, but also to improve the general conditions. If you look behind us, you'll see the equipment working, and we've had quite a few challenges here. We were initially hoping to be able to be open in this spot for yesterday as well, but we've had a lot of issues with rain, so we've had water flowing into the site because we're working on water courses during the rainy season. We also have an influx of groundwater coming into the area, and that is also making it very difficult for us to work. We also are very close to the sea. A lot of people don't realize how close to the sea we are, but we're seeing those fluctuations and that up and down movement with the tide. So the combination of those factors meant that we had wet conditions to work in. We had wet material that prevented us from being able to get the compaction that we would like. But I think we've done quite well to be at a point where we can be confident that we're going to have this section of the road reopened by the end of today. We would have had the sections in Sunset Crest opened for Monday morning, and we've already seen an ease there and a very positive response from the residents, from the business community, from people who work in the area. They've always, however, been very supportive of the work that we're doing. They understand that we have challenges in this area with drainage and with flooding, and that we're trying to alleviate the situation. The reality is that the effects of climate change are making it even more challenging for us. We're essentially getting the same amount of rainfall a year, but it's in a much more compressed period. So you're getting that rainfall in a shorter period of time. So we're getting longer droughts, and then we're getting more intense rainfall events, and those then contribute doubly towards the chances of flooding. In this area, in Porters and Trents, going all the way back up to Sunset Crest, Holetown, Vauxhall, Sandy Lane, traditionally those would have been swamp areas and open areas. Before you had the introduction of plantation agriculture, then you would have had sugarcane fields and swamp areas in some areas. And when you look at the map from 1951, you wouldn't believe this area when you look at it compared to now. So you've had tremendous development of all sorts: commercial, tourism, housing and residential, and all of the ancillary services that service all of those. And that has meant that it's become very, very built up. So we're trying to work in areas where the spaces are very, very tight. We're having to work directly with persons. So it is not as easy as if you had a wide area that you were just doing a project on a clean greenfield site. So there is that challenge. As you look around, what we're trying to do in this area is to work from the area of Porter's Great House all the way back to where we enter over my right shoulder into the existing residual wetlands between Coral Reef and Colony Club. Both properties, I think, have done a good job over the years of maintaining the wetland in there, and so that is where the water ends up before it goes into the sea. So there is that ecosystem-based adaptation that allows for picking up of some of the nutrients and essentially processing and making the water cleaner before it comes into the nearshore environment. But we've also had a lot of issues coming through between the houses here in Trents Tenantry, and what we're seeking to do is to raise the level of the existing drain. And if you follow it up as well, we've put in new drainage areas between the homes there, and to try and confine the water as much as possible to the channels. I can speak as well with respect to W25, which is the area between the gas station and the police station and court complex. We're doing quite well on that, and we're hoping that we can have those culverts in this week. But unlike these other areas, we can't just simply open the road at that point in time, because we have a lot of additional services and drainage and sidewalks and utility works on the sides. So it would not be as safe to allow that to reopen as quickly as that. So that short diversion remains in place for now, but we're doing tremendous work there as well. What we have